So tell us a little bit about the plot of the Sidekick.
Right, so Sidekick is about a superhero sidekick, Max McCabe, who he turns 40. He's kind of losing his step. He's lost his step. He's got no real superpowers. He's just been a sidekick his whole life, and he gets let go by his superhero boss. And it's set in a world where being a superhero is just another profession. There are accountants and lawyers and doctors and superheroes. And so Max has to find out what his true purpose in life is. He's always just been the number two, and all he's been good at is saying, like, look out, get in, here, catch. And so he has to figure out where in the world he fits as a number one.
And what are your superhero roots? Like, what went into your inspiration for the Sidekick?
I've always been a huge fan of Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Like, growing up, anything that had those guys in it, I wanted. And, all the movies I've always loved. And have always kind of identified with the sidekicks. Like, my brother's 6'4", and I'm like just under 5'7". I'm like 5'7" if you like round up. And so that was what I was everyone's little brother, right? So I always kind of like identify with that guy, the buddy. Yeah. And so this was a really cool experience for me because it really is kind of an allegory for finding your number one, where in the world you're number one, where you're not the number two, where you're not the sidekick. And so yeah, it's kind of an allegory, I feel like, for so many things, like finding yourself midlife and what your true calling is.
So the Sidekick is something of a pilot or a film on its own. What can you tell us about what's in the plans for the future for the movie?
Right, so it's a 30-minute feature, so it really does look like a comedy pilot. And our plan for it is, we're here to drum up interest and get some traction, because in the way that the industry works these days, that's what people listen to, is what do the fans want to see, and Comic-Con is the perfect place for that, and the perfect place for a film like this. So we're drumming up interest, and then from there we're going to we'll have pitching it as a comedy pilot. We feel like it could be easily a TV series because there's so many ideas you can spin off from this guy and this world that we've created.
Absolutely. That said, what can you see for the future of maybe a Sidekick video game, if you had any creative rule over that?
I mean, that would be amazing. I think a Sidekick video game, in our world would be this guy trying to do other jobs as this guy and probably failing because he's overqualified. It'd be the opposite of a normal, he's just too fired up. He's got to be, bring it down. So he actually wants to lose life points a little bit just to chill. But what I would love is to have action figures. That's kind of the dream. You know what I mean? If I could have an action figure of this guy, then I'd feel like I made it.
So finally, you've got an amazing cast alongside you. Are there any specific characters that you're excited for the fans to meet?
All of them. We really created all these very specific characters for each of these people. Martin Starr is really great, and he plays Blood Diamond, who's like this guy who basically runs around by night, and he's dressed like a ninja, and don't really know why he's called Blood Diamond, but I run into him after I'm off the clock, and we talk to each other like bros, like two actors running into each other on the street, like, oh man, how's it going, what's up? And Ike Barinholtz is really funny as Lightning Mike. It's a whole band of sidekicks. So we're all the sidekicks who kind of like, in the same way that kind of actors are like this with each other, we're all kind of like, band together in the waiting room, So yeah, he's great, Lightning Mike, and Sidecar Willie is Jordan Peele, is another really good one, he works for a bad guy and he rides sidecar to the guy's motorcycle. So yeah, it's a good one too.
When can we see it? When's it coming out?
Very soon, hopefully we'll be broadcasting it, on a network. And in the future, it will be something that you'll be able to download on the internet. So just keep looking out for it. And the sidekickproject.com is our website, and that has everything.